Hello, Kay.
Yeah.
You're on Truth Wanted.
Yeah.
What would you like to talk about today?
Do I start talking?
Oh,
yes,
yeah,
go ahead.
I asked caller to look up the pepper back in the 1900s.
Hey, Kay, do you mind? Are we on speakerphone right now?
Hold on. Let me see if I can change that.
That would be great. It's very hard to hear you, and I think that the audience and ourselves would greatly benefit from your departure from speakerphone.
Can you hear me better?
Oh, it's
Much
a million times
better.
better. You're a new man.
All right. I just wanted to tell the last guy to look up the peppered moth. In the 1900s, there was this factory that made all the forest around it black because there was a coal factory. And the moths turned from being white to black because the white ones would actually die and the black ones could blend into their environment. And then when the factory closed, all the trees went back to being white. I think they were birches, right? And the moths actually went back to being white again. So we do see evolution in more bigger species, maybe.
And it's a literal textbook example.
I have seen that photo in every textbook. I also like to thank you, Kay, for doing a rebuttal for us because we bound ourselves by the conventions of conversation to not.
Yes.
Right.
Okay, go ahead. You say you have a friend who believes in ghosts because of one single experience.
Yeah, it's an uncle, and he actually thinks that ghosts exist because a long while ago he was walking through a street at the middle of at midnight, and he saw somebody, but he didn't hear them walk. So that's his evidence for ghosts. And I was telling him that that was the least likely explanation that he could have gone with. Maybe it was a guy like he was banging somebody else's wife, and he was like not, trying to be unseen, or maybe he was a thief, or maybe he was just didn't want to wake anybody up. And why did you want?
Maybe he was wearing socks.
Go with ghosts.
Oh man, that is good to know because I am infamously light-footed. So I I wonder how many times I've been a ghost to someone.
Yeah, you're somebody else's ghost.
That is
Interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting.
I
mean, honestly, I've heard less likely explanations. A vibe, a feeling. Like I knew it when I saw it, or I didn't see anything. I just knew that they were there. So
this is the thing that gets me with ghosts is that they always when you watch these like ghost hunter shows. I don't know if you ever partake in Vino in watching a ghost hunter show, but
constantly.
They always talk about like, oh, we brought our thermal camera. Oh, there's a cold, there's a draft of cold. And I'm like, who determined that is what a ghost does? Like, what's your positive control group here? Did you have a ghost walk in front of a thermal camera so you know that it's cold or something? Like, I don't get it.
That's something else I love about it.
Yeah, they left they need to caulk up the seams after they seal up for winter, right?
My favorite thing about these ghost investigations is not that there are predefined characteristics of like, oh, we bring the thermal camera, we bring the recorder, we do this and that. It's that there's news. There's like, we came up with a spirit box now. That's
right.
That's the new fancy thing that we're going to try out now. Like there was any evidence to compare the previous tools like measurements to? Like at what point did you say this thermal wasn't good enough, or this was just as good as thermal cameras? You know what? Maybe I would say it is just as good as thermals. Maybe that's okay.
Fun story. Kate, anything else from you?
Let me think. Not at the moment. Actually, yeah. I also like to, when I speak to Christians, I like to ask them, hey, what if Jesus was actually twins? Because I'm thinking of like magicians, right? What if one guy died, like the guy that we actually work,
like the Prestige,
Christ, his twin brother.
It's where Christopher Nolan got his ideas.
Yeah, this is what I subscribe to, that the Jesus was triplets, God, Jesus, the Holy Spirit. Those were their names. That's really where you get the Trinity from.
That was great. Thanks for the call.